for pretending not to recognize my biological parents when they tried to reconnect with me. I grew up in a very unconventional way. For most of my life, my real parents have been my uncle and aunt, not the people who actually gave birth to me. When I was 6, my older sister was diagnosed with a serious illness. My biological parents apparently decided they couldn't handle raising both a sick child and a healthy one at the same time. So instead of finding a way to balance things, or even being honest with me, they basically abandoned me. One day they dropped me off at my grandparents' house with the casual excuse that I was going to visit Grandma for a while. That visit never ended. They just never came back for me. No explanations, no goodbye, nothing. It was my grandparents and uncle who eventually sat me down and told me the truth. They were furious at my parents for what they did, and honestly, I don't blame them. From that point on, I only saw my parents a handful of times, probably 5 at most. The last time was 9 years ago. By the time I was 12, I'd made the decision to cut off contact entirely. I realized I was the only one making any effort to keep in touch, and once I stopped, the silence was deafening. They didn't fight for me. They didn't try. It just ended. Luckily, I wasn't left completely alone. My aunt and uncle stepped up in every way. They had always wanted kids, but couldn't have any of their own, so they used to joke that I was their miracle baby, just delivered to the wrong doorstep at first. They gave me love, stability, and a real home. When I turned 18, they officially adopted me. I wish it could have happened earlier, but there were legal and financial obstacles that made it complicated. Still, on paper and in my heart, they are my parents. I'm 21 now, and I couldn't be more grateful for them. Recently, though, everything came crashing back. My sister passed away between Thanksgiving and Christmas. It was devastating, even though I hadn't been close to her in years. I traveled home from college for the funeral, but I kept my distance. I sat in the back, paid my respects, and slipped out before my biological parents could corner me. They tried calling my uncle afterward, asking to talk, but I made it clear I wasn't interested. He respected my wishes and told them I wasn't available. But then came Christmas Eve. I went with my grandmother to midnight mass, and that's where my parents ambushed me. They walked up, tried to hug me, and acted like we were some kind of happy family reunion. I recognized them immediately, of course, but I chose to pretend I didn't. I pulled back and said, "Sorry, do I know you?" They looked stunned. They said, "We're your parents," and I replied, "My parents are at home." Then I went and sat with my gran. The entire service I could feel their eyes burning into the back of my head. When we were leaving, they made one last attempt. They asked, "You really don't recognize us?" And I just shrugged and said, "Oh, are you my dad's brother? I think I might remember you from when I was little." Then I walked away with my gran. My grandmother actually supported me. She told me they deserved it for trying to waltz back into my life after more than a decade, acting as though nothing happened. But now my parents are trying to guilt trip me. They sent me a long, emotional letter about how much I hurt them, how I should understand they were just doing what they thought was best, and that no matter what, they will always be my parents. Other relatives are divided. Some think I was too harsh because my parents are grieving the loss of my sister and maybe reaching out in desperation. But honestly, I don't think grief gives them a free pass to rewrite history. They only remembered me when their other child was gone. Where was that love all these years before? So, for refusing to acknowledge them and pretending I didn't recognize my bio parents,